My name is Bethany Barsman. I'm from OTL Fine Catering, and today we're going to make one of our favorite dishes, which is the pan-fried pecan chicken with honey mustard sauce. To show you about the chicken is you can see it has some liquid in there. One thing that helps a lot when you're breading chicken or even marinating it is to get it as dry as possible. That helps all your marinades or breading stick to the chicken a lot better. That's a little tip I can give you. So I'm just going to put these chickens here on the towel until we're ready to begin so that they can go ahead and dry off. Be ready to get our delicious pecan coating. For breading these pan-fried pecan chicken breasts, we're going to need 3 separate containers. In the first container is going to be our seasoned flour, which we're going to just start with regular all-purpose flour. We're going to add approximately a tablespoon of kosher salt, a tablespoon of paprika, about a teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of granulated garlic. And I'm just going to mix that all well in together. And that's going to be the first thing that we dip our chicken in. And that's going to go right here in this pan to make it easy to coat our chicken. Okay, and we'll move this forward and grab our next pan, and that's going to be our farm fresh eggs. To coat about a dozen chicken strips, you're going to need almost a dozen eggs. We're not going to do quite that many today, so I'm going to start with about 8 eggs. And I'm going to show you a little secret for making it adhere to the chicken better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add to this many eggs, 8 eggs, just a little splash of water. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And that's going to make our egg wash. We're just going to mix those well. The thing that makes this chicken breast so well coated is to use the flour and the egg together. That creates a great coating on your chicken. Okay, and that's ready to go. Okay, now we're going to get our next container. And for this, what makes this chicken so crispy and delicious are the panko crumbs. So we're going to start with 2 cups of crumbs. And we're going to want to crush up our whole pecans in a Cuisinart. You can buy the pecans already crushed up, but I feel when you crush them up, the oils come out and it sticks better with the panko. So I'm going to do about equal amounts of pecans. So about 2 cups, which is this container right here, which is a pint. Just put it in your Cuisinart. And I like to pulse. Okay, and you just pop it off, and you can see, you want it pretty well crushed up, but with some chunks in there as well. Okay, and that's going to go right into our panko crumbs. Go ahead and mix those well together. And I like to add a little tiny bit of salt to this as well. Okay, and now we're actually ready to start our breading process, and it's going to go like this: flour, egg, and pecans. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle your chicken with a little bit of salt and pepper as well. Everything gets seasoned along the way so that, it tastes good at the end. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get a receptacle, put my chicken on where I breaded it. Alright, so I like to lay all my pieces in the pan and do all the steps one at a time. It goes a little bit quicker that way. So we're just laying the chicken into the flour mixture. And you want to coat it pretty well. Get all the sides. Make sure you get it really nice and coated so that your egg mixture is going to stick really nicely to that. And this is a super versatile dish. Like I said, you can just do it as an appetizer or use it on your salads. And you can even do bigger pieces if you like, whole chicken breasts for an entree. Okay, and you want to shake off any excess flour and put it right into your egg mixture. Flour smells really good with all the spices in there. And you can jazz it up too if you like a little kick. You can add a little cayenne pepper. You can add a little curry, you know, whatever your personal tastes are. Okay, so now we got it in the egg mixture. Get that nice and coated as well. Whenever you're breading, we always like to leave one hand clean and just use one hand if possible. That way you have one clean hand if you need it. And then it's important when you go to your next step, just like the flour, you're going to shake off the excess egg and lay it right there in your pecan panko mixture. Sometimes people like to get a little cookie rack and they'll set it on here and lay the chicken breasts on top. For this amount, we don't need to do that. We can just shake it off, put it right there in there. If you like, I've also done this with almonds, which is really nice too, but my absolute favorite is the pecans. Closer to myself here. Okay, so now again, what makes this so good is the crispy panko and the crunchy pecan, so you want to get a nice good coating on there. I always like to press it into the flour so you get a really yummy crust on there. So you're going to be having something like that. Move that out of the way. And again, this is one of our most popular dishes whenever we make it. It's really simple, but really good. And you can see it's a fairly quick process, not too many ingredients. And if you see little wet spots, I just put a little breadcrumbs right on top. This is great for summer parties. This is an item that does not need to be served in a chafing dish or hot. It can be cooked up fresh and hot and then served picnic style. You can take it to your picnic, take it to a potluck, and just put it on a platter. It works really great. Okay, so now we're going to go into frying this chicken. And I'll show you how to do it. So I just have regular canola here. You can use a peanut oil, works great. Soybean oil works great. I have canola today. We're going to use about half this container. I have a cast iron pan today. Feel free to use your home fryer. That works excellent and is really easy to use, and you would just follow the instructions and the amount of oil that it calls for. So now I'm just going to put this in here and we're going to let it heat up for a few minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and pan fry our chicken. It's really important that the oil is hot and ready to go before you put your chicken in. So now we're going to find out. And it looks like it's just perfect. When you put it in, you want it to start bubbling up just like how it's doing there. It's getting nice and crisp. If you put it in and the oil's not quite ready, it will get soggy. And that's what you don't want. Soggy pan-fried pecan chicken breasts. You want crispy. So you don't want to overload it too much. You like to leave a little room in between, give you room to groove. And I'm going to go with about 2 to 3 minutes on each side of this chicken. You want it to be golden brown on each side. And again, if you have a home fryer, that works great because that's just going to go really fast and you're not going to have to flip the chicken at all. And you don't want to mess with it too much. You want it to get a nice brown crust. What you're going to look for when it's getting ready to turn is you want to look around the outer edges and notice if the pecans are getting a little browned around the edges. And you can see the different color that it's starting to get around the outside. And that's showing you that it's getting close. And you can take a little peek. It's not quite there yet. And this works great too. You can even cut the chicken up bite-size and bread it and use it with toothpicks for little kids or kids, and they enjoy it that way too. See, it's getting closer too as the white chicken coming out there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and flip it over. I recommend if you're doing large pieces of chicken to just get it golden brown on each side and then pop it in your preheated oven around 375 and cook it for another 10 minutes. If you're doing whole chicken breast, you just want to brown it on each side. But these are going to go ahead and be small enough pieces that we can cook it all the way through. Approximately 3 minutes on each side. You can see it's important to use raw pecans because they're going to toast up in the oil. If you use already toasted pecans, they're going to get over toasted. Okay, I'm going to start pulling them out. Shake off the excess oil and place them on paper towel to drain the oil. Yum, look at that. Nice and golden brown. Delicious. I like a nice and golden color, at least that color. One thing that's important is if you do anything fried, sprinkle a little bit of salt right after it comes out of the fryer, and that's going to help the salt stick really good to it and season it up really nicely. So there you go. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to make the honey mustard sauce, which is so easy and so delicious, and you're going to want to use this on everything from your ham and turkey sandwiches to sausages to pork chops. It's so good. So I start with mayonnaise, and I always use Best Foods mayonnaise because that is the best. It's right in the title. It's very easy. And I'm going to use about a cup. This was about 3 cups in here, so I'm using about a third of the container for a cup. And then I'm going to go right into the Dijon mustard, and I'm going to use about half a cup. This is a little bit more than that, so I'll use almost this whole container of Dijon mustard. It's important. Dijon really gives it the flavor you're looking for. And this is some local natural organic honey, and we're going to use about a quarter cup of that. So we go a cup of mayonnaise, a half a cup of Dijon, and a quarter cup of honey are all the ingredients you need for this addicting sauce. And then you're just going to mix it really well. I've also made this sauce with just the Dijon and the honey for those people that are looking for something a little lighter, and it's delicious as well. And I mean, that is it. That is how easy it is. You're just mixing well. And now you can just take your chicken and place it right on your serving tray. It's nice if you want to add a little garnish, you can add a little garnish to it. And you could do it 2 ways. You could just have the sauce on the side and people can go ahead and dip as they like. Or you can go ahead and put it right on there. I like it when the chicken's warm and the sauce kind of melts right on there. That is it for delicious pan-fried pecan chicken with honey mustard sauce. So good. There, and I'll leave some plain so you can get the idea. Thank you so much for spending time watching with us today. Please remember, OTL Fine Catering, we are full service catering. Even though I've showed you the recipe for pan-fried pecan chicken with honey mustard sauce, I'd love to come bring it to you so you can enjoy and be a guest at your own party. Thank you again.